Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to make this autumny set today with you guys. I'm going to walk you through every step of the way. We're going to do some of this kind of like 3D embossed look. We're going to do some roses and my attempt at pumpkins in that middle nail. You can let me know what you think, if it even looks like a pumpkin. But yeah, so we've got Shaka and Oracle. So you want like your nude colour and you want your brown colour. So those are the two I've got. You also do want an orange, and this one is just such a go-to orange for me. It's called Sunset in Hawaii, and even though the name makes it sound very tropical, I honestly feel like it works so good with autumny sets. So we are using that today. So our first nail is going to be orange. Two nails are going to be Shaka. We are going to have one nail that's Oracle, and then the middle nail we are going to ombre, and we're ombreing the orange at the top and the brown at the bottom. Remember guys, every time I do like base colors and stuff, I always do a second coat off camera. Sometimes I specify whether or not I maybe didn't. Often if a gel polish is like mega good and super coverage and it's just amazing, then likely I won't, but it's realistically it's very rare, and you don't really get that many gel polishes that you can get away with just a one coat. But here's the ombre. Right, so we've got everything with two coats. Time to create some extra base for our nail art that we're going to do in a moment. So those two Shaka nails, you want to do an orange kind of, well, I was going to say tip, but one of them has like the larger chunk at the bottom, and then the other one has a larger chunk coming up to the top of the nails. So you kind of want to flip around while you're placing that orange, and again that one will have another coat off camera, even though you can see it's quite sheer and it definitely needs it. So once it comes out, I'll do another coat off camera, and then we're back in the game. So I was quite inspired today by, there was this nail set on Instagram and it just had these stripes, and I really wanted to recreate it. Well, it's mainly these stripes on this nail. However, mine did not come out looking anywhere near as good as the picture I seen. Like, I think I just attempted the nail really wrong, so I've just had to go with the flow. But we're doing this stripe look with the brown, and we're going to do the same on the other nail as well. I actually ended up doing just the one coat with those stripes. Often when it comes to these like fine lines or, you know, very detailed things or things you don't want to do, like I really don't appreciate straight lines. I really don't like doing them, because you always have to like fight with it, and you want to make sure it's as straight as you can, and the thickness is the same all the way through, and for me it's always just impossible, as you can see there. So I actually just did the one coat, and that was okay. I did end up just picking a little bit more gel polish on the brush than I usually would, just to avoid the second coat. And once I'm happy, that will go into lamp for a cure. And once it's out, I'm going to pick up some base coat. My base coat today is from Venalisa, and I am going to apply it on both of those two nails that we're working on currently. And that's going to work as our base kind of glue, should we say, to the design. And I've done this quite often on my channel. It's a really fun way to get some glitters involved in your sets, but also not make it lumpy and bumpy. So I have some, well, two specifically. We've got a maple leaf, I think is what they're called, and I also have this gold. It was like a very pale gold kind of butterfly, and I thought those two colors kind of complement each other quite well, and I wanted to include them, so we did. So we're doing the leaf down first, then the butterfly, then the leaf, and so on basically. The leaf is, as you can see, a little bit more of like a red undertone, and then the butterflies are a bit more silver. Not silver, like a cool tone gold. Like, it's not yellowy gold or anything like that, it's a bit more of a cool tone. So once I'm happy and I, you know, mess around with them, place them where I want them, be very cautious, because once you move one, the other's already moving, and you're kind of playing this kind of rush game where you're pushing everything back into place. But once you're happy, pop that into lamp for a cure. We're going to do the same on this nail as well. And then just to help with the bumpiness, I do apply another layer of base coat off camera and pop them into lamp for a cure again, just to help with the bumpiness, and literally just that second base coat layer does the job for me every single time. And I do not need to go in with like a third or a fourth. Occasionally it may be that you have this ever so slight little bumpiness, but it's, honestly for me anyways, like I'm not too fussed with stuff like that, so I'm happy to basically go as is. But if you are a little bit fussy and you don't like any sort of bumpiness, then definitely just do that extra base coat and you'll be just fine. Now at this stage we are going to matte top coat all of them and then pop that into lamp for a cure. I am using the Venalisa matte top coat on today's set as well, and we are doing that basically. I mean, if you want to do your crystals first, you could, We're going to do it later. No one's wearing these nails. This is just for design, just for inspiration, just to get you guys, you know, inspired for autumn, because it's honestly around the corner. I can't believe I'm going to shops and there's already Halloween decorations. Like, a specific Halloween set feels a bit criminal just for another maybe week or two. But I thought maybe we can start off with a very, I was going to say subtle, not so subtle, but autumny set, just to get the vibes and see what you guys think, and if I'm going to get absolutely slandered in the comments that it's a bit too early or not, and then we can get basically the ball rolling. Right, so they're all cured. Now it's time for the roses, and oh my goodness, guys, I shied away from roses for the longest time. I don't know, I should probably maybe make like a video just focusing on these roses and how to do them, because they always look very complicated, but always look so beautiful, and it's actually so much easier than you think. Like, I kid you not, I just kind of pick up a bit of gel polish, I put a lot of pressure down on my brush and kind of create this thicker line, and then I just drag out a thinner line coming from it, kind of like curving around the rose that I'm creating, and that's it. Literally, that's it. I know that there's still a lot more kind of improving that I can do, but I am very, very satisfied with the roses I'm doing at the moment, and I'm happy with them, and you can really clearly see that it is a rose, which is always the point. So as long as you can see, you know, you can tell that it's a rose, and that's what you were going for, then that's all that matters, and that's literally a win for me. So we've got one rose, and we are going to do another one below it, and every single time it's the same exact steps, literally identical steps. Just keep repeating them until you are happy with the size, or you know, all of that kind of stuff. And then before popping it into the lamp though, to make it look kind of like 3D embossed, I think is the right word, you want to sprinkle on some clear acrylic. So I am going to use my, it's the Glitter Bells clear acrylic. But I always make sure to let you guys know that you don't need to get any of like the really expensive good stuff. I only just use it because that's just what I have. But if you're not into acrylics, it can be very, very pricey. So if you are able to just go on Shein or AliExpress and just get yourself some of that kind of stuff that they're selling, it's going to be mega cheap, and it probably won't be very good for actual capping and doing acrylics, but for doing just these kind of nails, literally good as gold. Like, you don't need anything great. And you want to make sure you're sprinkling on the clear acrylic powder until the gel polish stops being shiny. So that's when you know that you're basically loaded. It's time to pop in some for a cure. And I always like to double cure just because it just feels a bit funny that there's like two products in one kind of mixed together in a way, you know. So we popped it into them for a cure. So on to the next nail. Now we're going to flip it around and work on the brown nail with the orange gel polish. And on this one, again, you're just repeating it. I wanted to include as much footage as I can of these roses because I think they're so beautiful, effective, and you can really, really change the colours around and kind of make it fit any theme. Like, I mean, we're doing autumn, an autumn set, but it's roses and it just works. If you just pick up the right colours, it will just work. So we are now doing the slightly smaller one that's going to be above, and then that one going to lamp for a cure. In a moment, we're going to work on that middle nail where we do those pumpkins, and you have to let me know in the comments what you think and if you think they look like pumpkins or not, because when I showed my partner the set, he looked at me funny and said, "Why are there palm trees in the middle nail?" And I was like, no, that is not a palm tree, that is a pumpkin. So let me know what you think. I don't know if it was just him being him, or like really it looks like a palm tree and I'm just being delusional. So let me know. But we'll get to that part in a minute. I did see it on Pinterest as well. I was doing quite a lot of Pinterest searching. I get my days, like some days, I don't know, I get inspired by my own set. Some days I just think of an idea and I just roll with it and it just happens for me. And other days I just kind of find myself suddenly attached to Pinterest for hours on end, and I've got like 30 different autumny sets in front of me, and I'm suddenly trying to make a set inspired by all 30. So that day was kind of one of those. Now on to this pumpkin nail. That could be a palm tree, let me know. So we're doing these like half, almost like a half a circle, like a U shape, and you want to kind of connect them through one another. So that will be the kind of the structure of your pumpkin, and then you want to just add those extra lines on either side and down the center, and you guys have a pumpkin. I think what probably threw this off was because I'm working with such a long nail that I maybe placed the pumpkin a bit too high and it really elongated the pumpkin. I think that it would probably look a bit cuter if it was maybe a bit on the shorter end. So maybe that's what kind of threw it off. So I'm going to again sprinkle in some clear acrylic. Now, we will be doing one more pumpkin above it. I kind of wanted to just cure the first one in place because I am honestly the most clumsiest person on this planet, and I will knock it and ruin it, and even here, like, I'm struggling to figure out where I'm placing my brush. So this just kind of gives me peace of mind that I don't have to worry about what I've just done below. So we're basically going to repeat the exact same process of doing the below pumpkin above, but with the brown this time. So you can see that with the ombre, where the brown is, I'm trying to do an orange pumpkin, and where the orange is, I'm doing the brown pumpkin, just so that, you know, you can actually see it really well. And yeah, same process, all of that shebang. Pop on that clear acrylic, pop in Glam for a double cure, and we're ready to go. We're almost done with the set. We've got some bling to do. The bling itself isn't anything wild or crazy, but every single nail does have a little bit of bling, a little bit of sparkle. So we're going to get on with that in just a second. And there's quite a lot of cover beads going on today as well. So I kind of felt like it all needed a bling because we are working with quite dark colors, and I do like a bit of sparkle. So definitely your sets needed a bling. But yeah, the cover beads are going to get you in today's set. Trust me, like, the set itself probably looks like it took me a long time. It didn't. It's the cover beads, honestly. So I've really fast-tracked this footage. On the pumpkin nail in the middle, we're going to do 3 ABs and then, of course, the cover beads in between. Really quick and easy. I just sprinkled some of the cover beads onto my table today when picking them up. And I picked them up with the brush, the same brush that I used to pick up the rhinestone glue gel that I placed down. So down the center that goes, and off to the lamp it goes. Then next up we've got those rose nails. Now on those ones I'm doing like a diagonal line of rhinestone glue gel, and that's going in the area that we don't have anything going on in. And then on the line that we created with the rhinestone glue gel, you're going to pop on the cover beads, and this is what took some time as well. You just kind of keep wanting to place them down one after the other, and then once you've covered that area, you want to just use anything you've got to hand, really, just to help you straighten up the lines, make it look really good, because right now it's very, very wonky. Today I was using my dotting tool. It's not really my preference, but it did the job. So if you've got one of those, that will help you out. And then pop it into lamp for a cure. Now onto the other rose nail, same idea. You want to make sure though that the angle at which the lines are going though are the same as the other rose nail that you did. And again, you want to repeat that. This one took longer because you just had more space at the top, so more cover beads and just more messing with making the line as straight as possible and all of that. But as soon as this one's done though, we are done and dusted. I don't know if you guys remember though, last year I did quite a lot of these like bauble looking nails, and I had so many cover beads involved, and I already know that I'm definitely going to be doing that this year again because I really liked it last year. So literally, you got to prep yourself. I'm already prepping myself. I'm prepared to just go through all that pain because I fell in love with it last year. I was doing it literally every other set, it felt like. Now we're almost done. We've just got the last 2 to complete. On this one, I'm placing the AB down and then placing 2 cover beads, but like next to each other. And then placing another AB next to it, and so on until you've covered the line. So often, whenever there's like a harsh line, I do like to cover it, whether it's going to be with crystals, glitter, another gel polish line, just to kind of break the 2 colours apart from one another. Today I opted for the crystals, but if you're not into the crystal look, you can obviously do anything else that you want to, like I said, glitter or anything like that. And that will basically conclude the video. We've just got to finish this one off now. It will go into lamp for a cure, and that will be everything for today. There may be a video or 2 less in the next week or so. I am about to go on vacation, and I've been so busy and I've not really had too much time to prep some videos, but I'll try and upload some TikTok, some nail content wherever I can, but likely not so much videos, but I'll be back as soon as I can, I promise. But this is the final result. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!